It was roughly 4 a.m. when I abruptly woke up to Winnie growling at my bedroom door. Then I heard it. The sound of knocking had come again rapidly, again impatient and again louder. Winnie let out another low growl while pawing at my leg. I thought it might have been a dream until I looked out the window and it became real. "Holy shit," I muttered, they were still out there. I decided this had to be a prank someone had put them up to. That was the only logical explanation, and it was the one I clung to oh so dearly. I didn't feel like sleeping, couldn't sleep actually, because that wretched knocking continued for the rest of the fucking night. Winnie stood alert, ceaselessly responding to the knocks with barks. I knew all of the doors were locked, but something compelled me to stay in my room, as if I was safer there. I stayed there until daybreak. By then it had become too much, so I went downstairs and shouted through the door that I was going to call the police unless they left my property. They didn't. Yeah, instead of leaving, the knocking became ceaseless for the next hour. So, I called the police. Needless to say, these kids were deeply disturbing me. Obviously. There was, however, this feeling, the kind of feeling you get right as you're caught in a lie, the adrenaline rush that makes you feel like you're falling for a split second. I was shaking as I dialed the number. Before there was even a reply, I felt that there was some kind of futility to the call. I felt as if I knew that nothing would come of it. 911, what's your emergency? Hello, I said. There are two kids on my doorstep. They've been standing there all night asking to come in. When I said no, but they've refused to leave and they've been knocking on my door all night. The operator asked what my address was and told me that they would send some officers over to see what they could do. I stayed on the phone with the operator, locking myself in my bedroom once more as we spoke. Although it was silly, it brought me the slightest tinge of relief. The operator spoke with me for a while. I kept reiterating that it didn't feel safe, but I don't think that they were taking me that seriously. They must have thought that they were listening to the ramblings of a madman whose mind was unfurling on the other end of the line. I think that the operator was just trying to calm me down. It took about 30 minutes for the police to find my house. I heard the sound of wheels on gravel. I listened. Silence. The din of that effervescent pounding drum on my door was gone. It had stopped for the first time since it had started again. I unlocked my bedroom and slowly came down the stairs. The creaks under my feet felt as if they were booming, thundering, and blaring, as if it were the sound of gunfire, loud and menacing. But what came next must have been an atomic bomb in comparison. The slew bangs on my door.